Gamers of Reddit, what are some good quotes from video games? If I'm wearing a bikini, where do I put my Pokeballs? Teehee. Woman's secret. Thanks Pokemon. This one is especially concerning when you remember that the in-game character that she's addressing is a 10-year-old child. In the game Bastion, during the tutorial phase you learn that a large part of your environment is destructible with your hammer. If you smash a bunch of things for a while, the narrator comes in and says, the kid just rages for a while. I thought it was clever that they anticipated people to just destroy the environment when they learn they can. Falls off the edge and GT, the kid fell to his death. Respawns and GT, I'm just fooling. Ha. I was on the fence about playing this game but this has just tipped me over the edge. Next time it goes on sale I'ma buy it. I survived because the fire inside burned brighter than the fire around me. Joshua Graham Monsieur. Nobody's that long. Not even Long Johnson, and he had a long, thus the name of I Love New Vegas man. Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. Darkest Dungeon has way too many memorable quotes but this one is my favorite. Many fall in the face of chaos, but not this one. Not today. The best quote of the game. Hearing it give me chill. Unfortunately, killing is one of those things that gets easier the more you do it. Solid Snake. I remember playing MGS4 on PS3 and doing a combat run and every time I killed a lot of soldiers, Snake would just vomit. Yeah, adrenaline rush was awesome. Snake would shake more with an LMG but take reduced damage IRC. Maybe that was just my imagination though. I do believe I'm on fire TF2 spy while burning alive. If God wanted you to live, he wouldn't have created me. Their rage, brutal, without mercy. But you will be worse. Rip and tear, until it is done. Heavy metal intensifies. If you find yourself in a hole, the first thing to do is stop digging. John Marston. I was always partial to the late game RDR quote. We can't always change, but we have to try. Even if it means starting over 1,000 times. It's better than going back to the way things were. Mine was between that and when a man with a sing-song voice tells me to off. It always concerns me. Boyo. Love is making a shot to the knees of a target 120 kilometers away using an Aerotech sniper rifle with a tri-light scope. Love is knowing your target, putting them in your targeting reticule, and together, achieving a singular purpose against statistically long odds. Meatbag Hater. HK47. HK47. Translation. 98% probability that members of the miniature organics tribe are being held by sand people. Master. Doubtless he wishes assistance. Player. And what about the other 2%? HK47. Translation. 2% probability that the miniature organic is simply looking for trouble and needs to be blasted. That may be wishful thinking on my part, Master. If the laws of physics no longer apply in the future, God help you. Those of you who volunteered to be injected with praying mantis DNA. I've got some good news and some bad news. Bad news is for postponing those tests indefinitely. Good news is we've got a much better test for you. Fighting an army of mantis men. Pick up a rifle and follow the yellow line. You'll know when the test starts. Portal 2. Portal 2 has the best video game quotes by far. I've never laughed so hard from any other game. J.K. Simmons as Cave Johnson is just brilliant. We all need friends. Old-timer. We die alone, but we live among men. John Marston. Red Dead Redemption. The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. So, wake up Dr. Freeman. Wake up and smell the ashes. So, wake up Dr. Freeman. Wake up and smell the FTFY. Send me out. With a bang. Halo 3. Permission to leave the ship, sir. For what purpose, Master Chief? Just like the simulations. Unknown 501st Clone Trooper. When the 501st was finally rotated out of Felucia, Isla Secura made a point of seeing us off personally, calling us the bravest soldiers she had ever seen. It's a good thing we were wearing helmets because none of us could bear to look her in the eye. An amp. X200B. Same Clone Trooper, more emotional quote, where the men cried. What I remember most about the fall of the Republic was how quiet it was. In the closing days of the Clone War, the 501st was discreetly transferred back to Coruscant. We all knew what was about to happen, what we were about to do. Were there any doubts? Any private, traitorous thoughts? Maybe. But no one said a word. Not on the whole trip, not when Order 66 came down, and not when we marched on the Jedi Temple. Not a word. Well done. Here are the test results. You are a horrible person. I'm serious, that's what it says. A horrible person. Quote, we weren't even testing for that. Don't let that horrible person thing discourage you. It's just a data point. If it makes you feel any better. Science has now validated your birth mother's decision to abandon you on a doorstep. Blah-DOS, Portal 2. There was even going to be a party for you. A big party that all your friends were invited to. I invited your best friend, the companion cube. Of course, he couldn't come because you murdered High Monsieur. All your other friends couldn't come either because you don't have any other friends. Because of how unlikable you are. It says so right here in your personnel file. Unlikable. Liked by no one. A bitter, unlikable loner whose passing shall not be mourned. Shall not be mourned. That's exactly what it says. Very formal. Very official. It also says you were adopted. So that's funny, too. Stand amongst the ashes of a trillion dead souls and ask the ghosts if honor matters. The silence is your answer. Yavik, Mass Effect 3. You might have a mild case of severe brain damage. You're not just a regular moron, you were designed to be a moron. He's the product of the greatest minds of a generation coming together with the express purpose of building the dumbest moron who ever lived. Had to be me. Someone else might have gotten it wrong. Mordin Solace. I consider this one of the best final lines of any character in fiction. It's true to character. Poignant, witty, bittersweet, and badass all at once. He was the very model of a scientist Solarian. Did you ever try to put a broken piece of glass back together? Even if the pieces fit, you can't make it whole again the way it was. But if you're clever, you can still use the pieces to make other useful things. Maybe even something wonderful, like a mosaic. Well, the world broke just like glass, and everyone's trying to put it back together like it was, but it'll never come together in the same way. Moira Brown, Fallout 3. Somehow, I don't remember this. It's beautiful. For how horribly annoying Moira was and the stupid, dangerous things she asked you to do. I did always feel like she was one of the few people left in the world whose heart was really in the right place. I'd get tempted to take a shortcut like lying to her about the task she'd given me. But if she was trying to make the world a better place, wouldn't tricking her make it worse? And GT, but if she was trying to make the world a better place, wouldn't tricking her make it worse? It literally does for some of the choices. The survival guide is worse and is reflected in the stats boost you get from the perk and unique dialogue from a random encounter with a wastelander who has the book. My ancestors are smiling at me. Imperial, can you say the same? He died as he lived, in a cutscene. Let his death be a cautionary tale, on the merits of patience in the most bleak of situations. Trevor, well hello there beautiful. Here go buy yourself something nice. Girl, is this $7? Trevor, I said something nice not something expensive. No, I didn't kill High Monsieur, but I did kidnap his wife. Trevor, I love this line so much, the way he said, no I didn't kill High Monsieur, followed by the cheeriness voice when saying, but I did kidnap his wife. You forget 1,000 things each day. How about you make sure this is one of them? Michael DeSanta. GTA 5. It's dangerous when too many men in the same armor think they're right. Dragon Age Inquisition. Elizabeth Sobek. It was a children's electronics kit, but I'd hacked the wiring to an auto battery and solar PV, so the grass caught fire. And so did a tall pine that had stood there, I don't know, maybe 100 years. My mother was home, thank God, so she called the fire department and after, she took me out on the lawn and showed me the dead baby birds, because there were nests in the pine tree. Gaia, query. What did you feel? Sobek, I'm not sure. I remember yelling that I didn't care, and that's when my mother took my face in her hands and spoke. Gaia, query. What did she say? Sobek, she said I had to care. She said, Elizabeth, being smart will count for nothing if you don't make the world better. You have to use your smarts to count for something, to serve life, not death. Conversation between an AI and her designer in Horizon Zero Dawn. Geralt, wanna hear a limerick? Lambert, sure Geralt. Lambert, Lambert, what a prick. You exist because we allow it, and you will end because we demand it. Ah yes, Reapers. We have dismissed that climb, Monsieur Rex. Science isn't about why, it's about why not. Cave Johnson Portal 2. Why is so much of our science dangerous? Why not marry safe science? You love it so much. In fact, why not invent a safety door that won't hit you on the butt on the way out? Because you were fired. Not you, test subject. You're doing fine. Yes, you. Box your stuff. Parking lot. Car. Goodbye. Everyone thinks they're the hero of their own story. Handsome Jack from the Borderlands games. I did enjoy fighting a villain who genuinely saw themselves as a hero. Twisted and broken as he was, the constant return by him to "I am the hero, not the player" was really enjoyable. Probably a better representation of how evil works than most po-faced games. Cartoonish as the whole thing was, the mentality of being the good guy while doing evil things is at least more honest representation. There are so many games where you're the underdog hero and have to beat the odds to win, but none of them made me feel as small and insignificant to the story as Handsome Jack monologue, and the general plot in BL2. You can feel his frustration slowly rising as you complete more and more mission. In the end, he's not just physically broken but mentally as well. He genuinely did not believe the player stood a chance against High Monsieur, one of if not the best written villain in gaming. War is when the young and stupid are tricked by the old and bitter into killing each other. Nico, from GTA 4. No Roman, I don't want to go bowling. Nico Bellic, probably edit. I am quoting this. I need a weapon. This is me when I need a weapon. Protocol 3, protect the pilot. Titanfall 2, perhaps the biggest gaming surprise of this decade. The first game was pretty good, but entirely multiplayer. Then along comes Titanfall 2. It improves on literally every aspect of the first game, while also introducing the best FPS storyline I've played since the Halo series. The movement is addicting, the gunplay is accurate and satisfying, you get giant mechs, and I still get emotional when I think about my giant titan handing me a god-tier gun in the last act of the single player and says, "Survive." You bet I did. BT. They never knew what hit Team Monsieur. We need Titanfall 3. Probably my favorite FPS games of all time.